It's an evolution in the police department to recognize the things that have been lacking as far as the relational situation between the police department and the citizens that we serve.
I came in here knowing how to talk to people already, like in a base sense, just from my background. And what really affected me is I learned ways to better communicate with people.
We learned a lot about, the brain, the amygdala, hippocampus, the limbic system, your prefrontal cortex. A lot of things that I did not think they would be teaching a bunch of street cops.
It is invaluable. It's like that commercial where they say it's priceless. When you have something like this, a skill set that they are bringing forth, it literally gives the whole reasoning behind why we're dealing with what we're dealing with.
The more that we can understand the situations that people are dealing with, the better tools we have so that we can assist them when we're responding to these types of calls. So the more knowledge we have of mental health, human behavior, we can better, assist these people so that we're going, this isn't just a drug-induced, issue that we're dealing with. This is something beyond that. This is something that may be long-term, that maybe this person's been dealing with since a young age.
There was a part of the training where we were discussing the human brain and the different parts of the human brain and how those parts work. I didn't know much about the human brain, especially when they started talking about the frontal lobe and the part of the brain that's responsible for the executive decisions, for memory, the cognitive function.
But they taught it in a way that I could understand it, and I feel educated after knowing that, and I know more about the way our brain works, about the way their brains are currently working in that moment, and you can kind of tailor your conversation to how they're feeling.
And when you figure out, it's kind of like when you're a little kid and you tear something apart to see how it works, and then you put it back together and it still works the same way, you're like, whoo! It's kind of the same thing, because when you keep making the same calls to the same house, and you end up taking the same person to jail every time, after you get training like this, and you figure out why they're doing what they're doing, it may have a different outcome, and you may never have to go back to that house again.
Now that I know that, it makes a lot more sense when I'm dealing with people of how their brain is functioning, and also some of the tactics, techniques, and procedures of how to proceed with those calls, some of the questioning that I may ask to maybe de-escalate that individual, versus saying, okay, I just got to go in, full force, handcuffs, and get this person to where they need to be.
I learned a lot more how to communicate better. I can learn how to pick up on certain cues of what kind of mental illness they may have and how to communicate better through that avenue, rather than just kind of giving it blanket statements.
Just having this alone, you'll see long-term wise, the payoff at the end, you're going to have a safer environment not only for your officers but also for your community as a whole, because your officers are going to be treating the community different, and your community will start respecting your officers and what they have to do job-wise and what they need to do to take care of things and make them safe.
This is eye-opening to bettering our services and understanding what's out there and how we can best help and facilitate a better relation between the police department and the citizens we serve.